Learn to fight. Yo, John Fitch here, and I got another spectacular episode of Learn to Fight. Today we're going to go over some more technique. All right, we don't have a fight for you, we have some technique. Now, I've said a number of times through these videos that I'm not a huge fan of throwing hooks on your opponent in a street fight, in a self-defense situation. The only time I kind of agree with that is if you are guaranteed that you're in a one-on-one confrontation, that nobody's going to come up and hit you with something while you're locked in and attached to that other person, or if you have backup. If you're a police officer and you have a partner, you're in the army and you have battle buddies, you have people coming, then I think it's okay. You have a team, so it's okay for yourself to attach to your opponent. One of the problems I see with throwing hooks in the scenario is, one, sometimes you have shoes on, you could have big boots on, and then if you have to disconnect, it's going to be very hard for you to get away. The other problem is you're out in the elements. You know, you got the sidewalk, you got a curb, you've got parking, kind of that concrete block, you got maybe rebar, broken glass, asphalt. You got a lot of issues in that environment. So if you throw those hooks in and it's a bigger, stronger person and they roll, even though you're still in a dominant position, you're still in a better position, you could still get your head cracked. We saw, the young guy beating up the old redneck in the cul-de-sac. That guy almost got knocked out. He threw hooks on that guy, and the guy had no technique, he had no training. He just was strong enough to stand to one knee and then do the nest T plunge backwards. The kid didn't get knocked out. He was able to finish, but it's a risk. It's a big risk. So if you're in a life or death situation, it might not be the best thing to do, because you get slammed, you get knocked out, and now you're at the mercy of whoever that person is. I think there are other ways to stay in control, stay dominant, and move to even more dominant positions. So in this video, I'm working with my student, and we're going over one of these things. When you get to certain positions in grappling and the guy rolls to that turtle position, I was giving him an option here rather than throwing in the hooks. And it's not saying that it's not a good technique. It's plenty good technique. You just have to apply the technique in the proper circumstance. And sometimes it's not best to throw hooks in if you're on cement and concrete and you don't know if there's multiple attackers or not. It can be very dangerous. It can also be kind of really hard to do when you have shoes on. I don't know if you've ever tried to take somebody's back and throw hooks in when you have big shoes on or boots. Well, I did a little bit of military training with the MACP stuff, and we had boots and stuff on. We were trying to roll and put shoes in, and it's not easy. And if you're training often, if you're a police officer or combatives person, military person, and you're training often, you can risk injury a lot of times because people roll, your foot gets stuck. It can be dangerous. So this option here that I'm giving him is something that's very applicable and can be used. The guy's in a turtle position. You'll see I instruct him to keep head pressure on the guy. That way he can't stand up easily. He's got something on his head. We do that with a little weird claw hook thingy like that. I put that on the back of the neck, and the elbow is pulling down. I don't just want to put my hand on the back of his head. It's not enough. I'm hooking here. I'm cupping the back of his head, and my elbow, I'm pulling down to the ground. I want to be heavy. I want to make sure that he can't get that head up. The other hand is reaching not over the back, but kind of up the butt or around the butt to the far ankle. I want to grab that far ankle, and I want a nice secure grip on that far ankle. That's going to prevent him from bringing that leg and standing that leg up and trying to come up. That's a good, solid position to keep that guy in that turtle position for a minute. We'll watch the video and you'll see that. From that position there, then, we work to a finish. Okay, in this scenario, we're kind of working on a thing where it's like, hey, you got to that position, you realize there's no one else coming, no one's gonna hit you, hurt you, whatever. It's you and this guy. You need to detain, restrain him. So you're going to move to a more dominant position to stay in control. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to go from that control position from turtle. I'm going to take the hand off the head and quickly transfer it to his far knee, right? So we already have the far ankle. We're going to take the hand on the head and go to the far knee. This is anybody who wrestled in junior high should know this move. It's called a far knee, far ankle. It's a great breakdown. We're going to hit that far knee, far ankle, and we're going to use that to kind of turn it into a double leg to finish with like a leg wrap and stepping into a smash position on top, right? I like that smash position way better than hooks in self-defense and way better than mount, because his hips are taken completely out of the game. He can't buck you. He can't oompa. The only thing he can do is try to escape the position. That's it. And if we can limit him and his techniques to just escaping, it opens up the gateway for us to dominate unrelentlessly. So let's check this out, and I'll kind of walk you through it. He doesn't do we're just learning this stuff, so he doesn't do it perfectly every time, and it's kind of good because I want to explain things to you guys that he's doing wrong. And then one of the things I'll show you is me explaining it to him and demonstrating it in the correct way. So let's take a look. You see here, I get in the turtle position. He puts that heavy pressure on my head. I can't get my head up. He's got ankle pressure. His ankle pressure needs to be good. He wasn't holding it enough. And he goes far knee, far ankle. Not bad. I will say, though, it wasn't great. For one, the far ankle control, it was soft. He didn't have a good control of it. I could feel it from the down position that he didn't have a great grip on that ankle. If you don't have a great grip on that ankle, I can move, spin, turn. There's a lot of things I can create problems with. So I had to kind of work with him on a few times. It took him a while to get it. I think the last few times he was starting to get that ankle right. But he was pretty good with the head pressure. The other mistake he made right there is when he drove through on the double leg, at one point he let go of the legs. So he has no more control of the legs. One of the things that we want to focus on when we go far knee, far ankle here is we want to leg wrap. We want to wrap those legs because we want the knees to connect. We want the knees together. If his knees are together, he's much less dangerous because we've destroyed his guard. We've smashed guard. There is no guard when his knees are together. If you have no guard, you have no offense, you have no defense. You only have escape. So we lock up the knees together and drive through and step over to smash. Or we leg wrap like Khabib does. He made the mistake of driving, and as he felt me breaking, he let go, thinking that I'm just going to fall in position, and but no, if he lets go of that, I'm going to start pulling my knees back through and cause trouble for him. So he needs to double those legs up, wrap them up, keep the knees connected, and then move his way to that smash position. Here we go. Let's watch one more time. This is a different run. He's going through a different time, getting hip pressure. You can see me trying to move my head up. Again, you see his hands broke towards the end. I had to give him a little tap and be like, no. You're losing control of the legs. You're losing control of the legs. I didn't like him letting go of that because I could feel on bottom, like the second that pressure is gone on my legs, I'm opening up my guard and then I'm starting to move because my knees are through. But we don't want that. We got to control the knees. We got to keep the knees connected. So this next clip, I'm going to show him a couple times myself. I'm going to run through it. I'm going to do it. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's done correctly. You see here, I got head pressure. I reach across to the knee. I start driving through. Right? I'm explaining to him how I'm keeping the knees together. Now I'm pinching. I'm able to step behind his knee with one knee, and the other one comes in front of the other one to pinch and control. I'll go again here. I got far ankle, far knee. I drive, and then I'm showing the pinch position right there real quick. Now I'll go down again, and it'll be his turn, my student's turn. Right? He forgets about the head pressure, and I show him what happens. The head comes up. That's not a good thing. If that guy's head comes up, you're starting to lose control. We got to keep that head pressure heavy on him. I think he is so concentrated on getting the drive through and the leg wrap right. He was just skipping that step, but I was just reinforcing that because I want to make sure he doesn't forget head pressure. Got to have that head pressure. Don't let him coming up. When you're grappling, I think it can be beneficial to imagine that you're grappling in a kiddie pool, like 18 inches of water. So that head pressure is me holding his face in the water. All right, that's a good thing because he's running out of oxygen. Think of it that way. Now let's watch him finish this technique once he gets to that knee. All right, so he's on that knee. He drives. Now he did a little bit better. He still took that left hand off. He put it back. And now I'm showing him here. I'm kicking, trying to free my legs, but he's got that control, so I can't get away. Kind of emphasizing the importance of what he needs to do. Now we're going to go one more time. He's got good head pressure this time. He's got really good ankle control that time. I was trying to kick that leg away, and I couldn't. He's able to walk up, saddle up into that smash position, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm trying to explain to him right here to reach behind my back with his right arm and chest drive forward, chest dozer forward to collect the arm. He doesn't have to chop it or pull it in. He has to drive forward to it. So you can see he did a much better job that time through. Getting the legs together, getting the control of that. When those are together, there's not a lot you can do. I can just push away. All I can do is try to escape. When all I can do is escape, that limits what I can do, which makes it easier for him to defend against what I'm trying to do. I'm always going to look to take his guard out of the scenario. If I can smash his guard, I can shut it down, I can get rid of it, he becomes powerless. Now we'll go through this last clip. It's got a few more run-throughs, 1 or 2 more run-throughs, and it's him doing it again, and we'll check out to see if he's improved a little bit after doing a number of reps. His head down, good grip on the ankle. I even kind of tried to sit into him that time. He caught my arm. He caught my right arm in there. That's still good. Control. He keeps the legs pinched. He keeps the knees together. Now he's stepping over the knees in order to sit into the saddle, but it was still pretty decent movement all the way up. This time he was really lazy on the far knee, and I got that knee out. That's trouble. That knee's out. Now I still have guard. It's not a great guard, but I still have guard and I can defend now. So he had to come over that knee and get my knees pinched back together so he could get back to that smash position. So again, this is him just learning this stuff, seeing this stuff the first time. It's the first day he worked on this technique. So he's not supposed to be a master doing it perfect every time. I want you to see the mistakes so you can see why. It kind of helps. It helps you learn watching mistakes, seeing mistakes, right? It does help to see things that you shouldn't be doing. That way, if you ever see yourself doing it, we have a great tool, right? These bad boys are great tools. It's a great tool that you can have for training, whether you're lifting weights or drilling or going live. You can record yourself, okay? It's not like a vanity thing. You don't have to post it if you don't want to. You don't have to show everybody if you don't want to. But it's for you to watch and see, oh, look what I'm doing with my hips here. Look what I'm doing with my knees here. Where was I placing my hands on this? It's a good thing to do. Film yourself drilling. Do it. The phone cameras are great tools. Use them. I wish I would have had them through college. I really do. I would have had so much more exposure to technique, and I would have had a lot better practice and ways to see how much I need to improve. It would have been a wonderful tool. I hope you guys are kind of understanding what I'm talking about here when I say I don't think it's always a great idea to throw both hooks in. I don't always think it's great to throw 2 hooks in. Yes, it's a lot of control. Yes, I can possibly flatten him out, straighten him out, flat on his stomach. Those are great. That's great. But you're committed. You're committed to that position. And if you're not sure that there's no help coming for him and there's no backup for him, it can be dangerous. You commit yourself to that, and his friend comes up and kicks you in the face because your feet are cemented into his hips in that control position. Where this position I just showed you from turtle, that pressure on the head and that far ankle control, I can keep that guy there. I could hold a guy there until police come if I wanted to. If I have to put him on his back, or if you're an arresting officer, you can go that far knee, far ankle. Put him on his butt. Get to that smash position. Saddle up. Start looking for arms to handcuff. Start looking for head and arm to choke. There's a lot of attacks from that position. There's arm bars. I can get a standing arm bar, arm bar on top, finish from that position. But everything I'm doing from there, I can cut and run pretty quickly. I can get out of there. If I see somebody coming, if somebody's yelling, getting out of the car, running up on me, I'm out, right? I can cut. I have full and complete control of the situation and the person I'm fighting with. And the second I'm like, oh, this is not looking like a good scenario, I need to go, I can. It's much different if I throw my hooks in. I get the figure 4 body lock on him. Yeah, I'm dominating. I'm winning that fight. I'm doing awesome. But if somebody else comes, I'm in trouble because I'm committed to that ground. I can't cut and run easily. So these are things I think it's important to take in consideration. It's not in any way saying the jiu-jitsu's bullshit and back control is bullshit and throwing hooks is bullshit. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying look at the scenarios and you're going to have to decide what's best in that scenario. And you need options. And I want to give you this option because I think too many people are just, oh, well, throwing hooks in is the only thing to do. They roll up to their knees and they're giving their back. You have to throw double hooks. You have to throw both hooks in. I don't think that's correct. I think there are scenarios for each. It's very important that we separate sport from fight. Sport jiu-jitsu versus street fight. Remember, we got 3 types of fighting. We got street, sport, and art. Make sure that if you're on the street, you're using street techniques. We don't want to do the art stuff out on the street. We could pay dearly for it. Now, I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I hope you learned something from it. I hope that technique looks like something it's interesting to you. Play with it, try it out, see what kind of control you have with it, and then work on that far knee, far ankle. It's a great way to get them to their side, get them on their hip, break them down. It's a good, it's a you know, I learned it at junior high wrestling. It's a nice breakdown to use. Works just as well in a fight, works just as well in self-defense. It's a good technique. Play around with it, play with your friends, and be safe. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out the programs listed below, the Gumroad stuff, the practical and the intro to practical self-defense. Get your butts to a gym. Learn some jiu-jitsu. Learn some Muay Thai, some Thai boxing. Do it. Do it, guys. It's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for America. It's good for masculinity. Let's do it. All right? Thanks for watching. I'll check y'all later.